1, 2, check, check. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Today we're going to be building the Flutter Editor. You may have seen me tweet about it, but today we're going to be building a widget maker. So feel free to, comment down in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions about what I'm building. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and start. So let's go ahead and run it just so if anybody's aware where we're at right now. Currently, this runs on Windows, Linux, macOS, and web, and even iOS and Android. My goal is to have it be the best iPad editor as well as the web and desktop. We will turn on and off functionality depending on which device it's running on. But yeah, mostly it's going to be, I don't know, I would say a lot of users would be using it on the web as well as maybe a couple on desktop. Yeah, like I said, just feel free to comment in the chat if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them as we go through. Cool. Feel free to also support me on Patreon. I've been posting a lot of stuff recently, and definitely anything can help out. I'm just waiting for it to build. All right. So just going to go over the basic file structure while we're waiting for that. I use this folder structure in all my applications. So what I like to do, let's go ahead and collapse all this. We have, at the very minimum, we have a 3 top level folder structure. We have a UI folder, which is going to be anything that's just a widget. It has nothing to do with the data backend. We have a source folder. This is kind of all of our blocks, our models, our classes. We have a plugin folder. This is going to be all of our conditional import plugins that don't exist yet. So if we want to have a clipboard, for example, we can conditionally import the mobile, the web, and then the unsupported platform. This allows us to kind of build ad hoc plugins until we want to release them as packages. We have our main.dart. I try to keep this as light as possible. Right now, this is the only stateful widget in the app. And this has our settings module and our project module that we load in. And if you see, we're using the new Flutter state notifier package, which I'll show in a minute. But let's go ahead and look at the editor. So by default, we have a mobile view that is going to have a bottom navigation bar. You can click on files or folders and get directed to them, as well as supporting nested navigation. This is using a stack. We have the ability to go to a tablet. So this will be our primary iPad view. Same kind of thing, just a little bit. We just use a navigation rail. And if you expand it even further, we have this breaks out into 2 different views. We'll go over this layout building in a second. So we see that we can do the same thing, the same exact list. We're not duplicating anything. And then if we go up one step further, we will generate the largest screen that we offer. And this will have the list view on the side. This will have the multiple, so we can even do this here. We have multiple screens on the left and right. And let's also see the files is like this too. Okay, so let's minimize this again. Let's go down to here. So show you which package we're working on. So let's go ahead and do here. Get this set up. Here we go. Interact. Let's do Flutter state. Nope, that is wrong. This is not reading the keys, so I'm just going to go back to my desktop. Here we go. You can go to pub.dev and then Flutter state notifier. So if we see, did I spell it wrong? N-O-T-I. Let's go ahead and check the code. There it is. It's just pretty new. So this is built on top of state notifier. It allows us to have a state notifier builder, which basically takes in our model, our value listenable, and our class that we're wanting to listen upon. And there's some other cool stuff that this editor uses that we will come back to that later. And then if you just want to go to state notifier, if you're curious, this is the basic class that we're using. So as you can see, it makes it, there's a lot of like syntax sugar, but it's basically value notifier on steroids. And we also use a new package called freezed. This allows us to have some code generation for immutable classes, allowing us to do one-way data flow, so that all of the logic and the data is done in the model, and we're only reading from these values. It allows us to have predictable management. We can have abstraction where these, for example, all inherit from the same base class. Yeah, and it just takes care of a lot of stuff for us. So let's go back to our main.dart. And let's see. Now we're going to go. This is also, by the way, if you're wanting to do something similar to this, we're going to be using the Flutter master channel. That's why you see some of this, these new things that maybe don't exist on other ones. We're also going to look at. Let's look at our home screen because I want to show you guys how this is actually done. So first of all, the home screen takes advantage of an adaptive scaffold that we built. Here, we're using the context.select, which is from provider. It allows you to listen only on a specified field as opposed to the entire object, allowing us to have as minimal rebuilds as possible. This also has a locator built in so that we can, access our model. Here we pass the adaptive scaffold, which has our list of tab items. This is the responsive part. We just have a top level layout builder, which we have a couple different breakpoints. Here we can return a list view if it's the right, if it's big enough size, we want to just have a list view on the left side. Here we have a navigation rail. This is also just recently launched. On the Flutter master channel, allows you to have that side rail navigation with a couple different customizations that I had to make for the right colors. And then here we have just the general bottom navigation bar that we map these to the tabs. Some other interesting things to note is here we have our code view editor will actually be a syntax view, which I kind of basically forked, and it allows us to do editable text. So here, if we go into any text file that has code in it, like Dart, for example, if you can see, you can use the cursor and move around and actually edit it, and it's still syntax highlighted. It supports all kind of stuff, which is cool. So we can do JSON, or here, this is our manifest editor, but let's go into Prospect YAML, same kind of thing. We can edit these properties. We can even go into our analysis options. And my favorite part of this editor is I built a Markdown editor. So if you are in this application and you want to create a list, you can just do so like this, and it, you get a live preview on the left side. And this is all pure Flutter widgets, which is super cool. We can also select and edit and delete. This also uses an abstraction on top of file.io, allowing us to have these objects that we can edit and mutate that under the hood, map to, either file object on mobile or desktop, and then on the web it has these kind of like ad hoc viewers. So if we go into that, we can actually see that. Let's go into our classes. This would be under project, I believe. Let's see. Template gen, that's what it was. Project files. So here you see we don't import file.io at all. We can archive it, which we have to get that hooked up today. We have a project file base. This is the base class that both these things inherit from. All it does is have a path. We have a file, which has bytes, and then we have a get file data, which returns the byte data from that, which I'm just calling file data. And then we have a directory, which is a list of other base classes. Here this is our code that we use to generate the Flutter project itself. As you can see, when this gets started, the editor will actually, generate all these files for you live. So we can actually change the name or whatever settings. We can enable Kotlin or Swift, or do whatever we want, because it's actually, I built an abstraction upon the Flutter Create tool. And so this doesn't rely on Flutter Create. It actually works in the browser too, using a package called Mustache. Not sure if you're familiar with it, but it works super well. And if we go in here, you can see that we use a reflected mustache, because the built-in mustache uses Dart mirrors. And so we have to use reflected mustache, which allows us to not have to worry about reflection. And here we just are replacing the tokens and doing everything there. Let's see, what does this actually depend on? Nothing. Nope. Template replace tokens. Yep, that's what it was. So this just takes in our template file and will, swap out. So like, let's say we want to change out the description. This will swap out the description token, for example. Okay, we have, let's also look down. This is an abstraction upon local storage that I built. And we can get our values, and we can do, I added JSON, allowing us to read and write to JSON, as well as a logging. So another cool thing is I had to build this color abstraction, so we can have, all these different types and a lot of go to and from hex values. And this is just our built-in keys. So I'm gonna check the chat. Yes, we are using Streamlabs. Yeah, and just feel free to ask any questions in the comments. I'll try to check them and see if there's anything I can answer. But yeah, good to see everybody. Awesome. We're going to try to do this on a more regular basis. All right, so here is the algorithm that will take your project files from, reading from, I don't know, like, I guess like if we want to read in the project directory, it's going to have a list of files that belong to that project. This is the algorithm that we use to read each of those items and build the directories or the folders for them. So this is what this is right here, this algorithm that will generate all these nested files and folders. We just have some simple logic for, value listenable to see if it's a project file that's selected and we want to show that selection state. So here you can see we can hover on it and then select. Another cool thing as part of this editor is we have a color picker. So we can do some cool things like changing the color here, change the color here, and as if you notice, it actually updates. This is using the native color picker, so you see it's not part of the Flutter hierarchy. And we also, let's go into, let's go to our theme class. Let's show you guys the new theme builder. And we're going to get this hooked up to the Flutter code too. So here, on the right side, we got a preview that we can toggle on and off. We can make it dark, make it light. And here we can, let's go make it back a light again. Let's change the primary color. So here we can update on the right. We can also update this. Fun fact, one of my favorite colors that I found for Flutter has been this. Let's see if I can find it. It's a darker blue. It's more of like a pastel really, but still right about there. And then we're going to do this pastel red. It may not come across on the YouTube stream, but I really like this one. Here we can do our gray background. So sometimes you just want it to be slightly not white. And let's see. Yes, this editor is available on right here. I'm going to be releasing the app as a download on the website too. So here we have a fab background. Let's go ahead and we can override the default behavior. And see if the cool thing about this color picker class is see if we have a value, we can clear the current value, which I haven't seen a lot of other color pickers allow you to do. We can also set the brightness. So if you want to have a light theme but have a specific, brightness, you can do that too. We have a cool radial and linear color gradients. So let's go in and give like a nice purple hue and another like that. So now we have a cool gradient, and we can choose the alignment and everything too from each one. Here on the right side, we're going to do the same thing, but a radial. Let's see, yeah, just like that. That's cool. Another cool thing this editor supports is allowing custom colors, because sometimes you may have like a branding color. So I can say like, logo color, and see it'll automatically show you what the variable name is going to be called in code. But it allows you to, store a list of custom colors that you want to use, like maybe like a special card hovered color. And then now inside of the Flutter application, you can use this special color, and you'll have access to it. Also, we're working on a way that we can. I'm working on trying to at least to do like kind of more of a no-code way to build Flutter projects. Yeah, specifically about the bug on the web. This is an issue that is definitely out there. If you run the application in Canvas Kit, the issue goes away, but the problem is it doesn't work with gradients, so all my gradient stuff doesn't show. So as a trade-off, I'm still exploring it, but yeah, we're definitely getting there. This project is not open source yet, but definitely looking into options. I definitely want to have ways for people to contribute to it, so definitely stay tuned. All right. And you can have as many different kinds of gradients as you want for both light and dark themes, useful for, kind of whatever your branding guidelines entail. So here you can do whatever. Let's change the alignment too this time. So this one starts in the top left. Let's do top right, and then bottom left. Yep, see, we just completely switched it. And you can tell which one it is right there. All right, so today we're going to be building, well, let's get some functionality up. Let's see, in the comments, do you guys want to see me build a widget maker or get this thing running an actual Flutter application under the hood? And I'll just kind of wait to see the general vibe, but if nobody says anything, I'm just going to start with a widget maker. All right, so widget maker it is. All right, so let's go ahead and minimize this for now. So if you haven't worked with Freeze yet, it's a cool code generator package. It allows us to, kind of really define, oh, this is mine, here. It allows you to very simply, declare what you want in the constructor, and it'll generate everything for you. And the cool thing is it works with JSON serializable. So what's cool about that is it will generate the .freeze and .dart. So let's go ahead and look at that. All right, so let's go ahead, and I already started this yesterday, so we have a widget class. These are going to be all the different types of widgets that we can support. So my basic concept, what I was starting out is you have two different kinds of widgets. You have your regular stateless, stateful widget, and you have your screen widget. The only thing different here is that a screen widget is made for navigation. So this will probably include things like having an app bar and kind of a more abstract way instead of defining a whole hierarchy. Because, a widget can have widgets as its children, which will be useful. But the disadvantage to that is, yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, so let's see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just to start off, let's give this some properties. So we want to do string, let's give it a title. Since we want to build this in a kind of an abstract way, we want to have like a bool has fab, bool, let's do has app bar, because we can build the app bars and choose to hide or show them. So we can actually change this to make it more readable. Cool. All right, let's see. So when you make changes to these constructors, it will automatically give you an error. But this is just because we haven't run the code generator yet. And if you look, we have a top level scripts folder, which will do just that. So this project is hosted on Firebase. So later on, we're also going to be talking about how they connect it to Firebase. But here we just have our build script that'll run this for you. All right. Cool. So let's see, we want to add a couple properties. So what can a screen have? Let's see. A screen can be navigated to, so we need a route. A screen, we want to define, the biggest thing is we want to have a route, which will make it different from a widget, because this will be what we use to define what the named routes are when we generate the project. We need to have a title for what we want to show in the app bar. Let's take away the fab. This should be good for now. So the only bug that I have in the project is when we run the code generator, I have to comment out the reflective mustache. So that's fine. So we're just going to go ahead and run the build script. Whatever. It may error out the first time, but okay, just waiting for that to finish. So on one of the Flutter Editor versions that I built, which I'll also show, we actually supported importing projects. We supported importing, existing Flutter projects. So let's see if we can actually get that working, because I feel like that would be a cool thing to show. And also we have to get that working on desktop regardless. So maybe that's what we'll do next. The widget builder is going to take multiple videos anyway. So yeah, we just push it along. Okay, so let's see why that's not working. Let's go ahead and run the build script again. After we wait. Okay. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and open up the other Flutter editor while that's running. So this one was pretty tricky to build because the other one, at the time at least, there was a major bug that did not allow the imports from I/O and HTML in the same project. It was not compiling. So this one actually has quite a bit of different parts, as well as, have like a whole function layer, which we'll go over, that actually wraps the remote compiling from Dartpad, which is insane. So just a real quick peek of that. Is this the one? Yeah, here we actually, we're sending the code to be compiled remotely, which is nuts. So I can actually open up Postman so I can show that to you. This allows me to, even on the web or the iPad, for example, I can compile the Flutter web code and show it in an iframe. So let's go ahead and look at that. This is probably one of my favorite parts about building the project, because just hacking the the compile process was awesome. It also allows you to format your code remotely. It allows you to analyze it, do all kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and open that up. Cool. Yeah, quite a lot. So let's go to Flutter. I could fry an egg on my MacBook right now because of how many things it's doing at the same time. All right. Here we go. I have two commands, or two post requests. We have compile DDC, which is the development compiler, and then we have compile release time. some different things, but it's fine. This is my remote container, which does that, yeah. So all this is Flutter code that has been URL encoded, or at least escaped for JSON. So if we send this request, we will actually get back the compiled response from, you know, the whatever it's called, the editor. So perfect. So this is actually compiled JavaScript from what we just sent. It can do all kind of stuff too, but the nice part is if we do the regular compiler, this will give us the correct minified JavaScript. So this is actually the URL that I'm calling. Just because of core stuff, I have to wrap it on Firebase functions. So it's the Dart Services API. Here we have in our body, same kind of thing. We just have actually we might get an error. I'll have to check. But yeah, we just have, this is literally the same code that you get when you do Dartpad. This is the built-in Flutter application with the dark blue background when you do it. So I'll show that in a second. This one takes a little bit longer because it's the release build. Oh, bad request, not good. Yeah, this one is because it's Dartpad not found. So just to show this works, we can actually do something cool, which is void main. Ever thought you'd be doing Dart this way, huh? Let's do print test 1. So this is technically a valid Dart. And then we run this, we should get a response correctly. Yep, perfect. This is the compiled JavaScript code, which is cool. So we can take this and then run this JavaScript on the web page and do some really cool stuff with it. Allows us to have an iframe, and we'll show that later. But it's I like the way it works so far. So our code generator is still running, quite a few files to get through. So let's pull in the desktop. I pulled in this logic from the create tool, and we have project manager. So this is using Flutter block, by the way, if anybody's curious. So here, this is creating a project on the actual editor itself. So if you are if you're running Flutter Create with something with a computer that already has Flutter installed, that's the place that you want to do it. Okay, and we can also, this is the same, this is what we're about to use to run all different sorts of commands. So let's go ahead and let's see, what do we want to do here? We want to, let's first support importing an existing Flutter project. So, and then we'll pull in these commands. Cool, let's go ahead and install, what is this using? Process run, perfect. Let's go ahead and grab that. Can uncomment that? Let's go ahead and add this to our pub spec, perfect. Oh, also I forgot to mention, this is another top level folder I always have is a packages folder that has different packages that can't be imported from Dartpub, but are imported from forks. So here we see that the code generator generated these new properties for us, and great, all these things are done. Okay, let's support the import project. So what we want to do is this will actually take advantage of this. Yeah, because this is where we can actually reuse this code, which is cool. So this will be add project, existing project, update. Yes, this is exactly what we want. Cool. So let's go into our model class. So here we want to have a list of our projects, but no, sorry, this is the application. This is where we want the list of projects. Is it? No. Let's do this here. So we need to run this code generator too. Here we want to have list of string project local projects. Yes. Do we want to store it as a map though? Because what would be interesting is if we could store, if we wanted to rename to where if you had multiple projects with the same name, yeah, we wouldn't just want to store the path, we would want to store the name too. So we would want to, let's go ahead and do it here. We can use Command D to select the next ones. We'll do local project. Here we want to have a required. This will be the string of the path. And let's also give it a string of the name, because it'll by default, it'll just be the name of the file, but it'll allow the user to customize it since we're persisting all this. Okay, looks great. Now here in the app state, we want to have a list of this type, local projects. Perfect. Let's go ahead and run that code generator one more time. Comment out this, run packages git. If you're curious, these are the other plugins we're using so far. Okay. Okay, let's run our code generator. And yes, it is super annoying to have to comment that out every time, but you know, it is what it is. Let's go back to our other editor and let's bring in this logic. So we want to be able to import an existing project. So we're gonna have a default, we're gonna have, yeah, that's what it is. We're gonna have a path. It's gonna read the project, it's going to create the base project and then add all the different files. Okay. So we need a file, a method in our model, which needs to be called, we need to do this in a relative import way because this only is going to exist on IO. This is another reason why we have this top level class. So we need, let's go ahead and copy that. This is going to be called, let's see, let's do files. We can rename it later. Here we're going to do files. We're going to delete web since this, you won't be able to, you know, use the native tool on web. And we can delete web here. And let's go into unsupported. We're going to have import project. We're going to have the string, which is going to be the path. And we can give it an optional name if we want to define that in the code. Here we go. Let's go ahead and copy that for mobile. Oh, let's return this project base. Yeah. Because we already have this inside here. Let's go ahead and return that. Let's fix our imports to relative. Just a preference. Dang, still reading. All right. We're going to have to copy all this anyway. So we're going to do, you grab the files. Let's go ahead and grab project directory. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go to mobile. And remove that one. project base. Let's go ahead and copy this in. It's nice that I've already added all this. Where does that live? No, not in there. So we're good. Let's go import template gen. Oh, we're not using settings this way. Let's import our settings class, our template gen class. Right, settings dot. How are we importing that? Oh, it's just not built right now, but oh, we have to use provider, right? But we don't need that because why don't we need that? Well, we're not persisting it. That's what it was doing, yeah. So we can kind of forget about that right now. Okay. We can import .io safely since we're not on the web. We can import project. We don't have project meta because we have a different type. And what is that type? That type is project. That's right. This is the new JSON format that I'm adding. Just go into mobile. And here we have Flutter project. That's right. Here we can also, let's do base project. Go ahead and add this here. And let's go ahead and give it a name. Oh, we can do this here actually, sorry. So, and I think it can take a path, yeah. Perfect. Don't need this anymore. Let's look here. We don't need the tabs anymore. Do we need this still? We do not. This should do everything actually, yeah, right. Because this will read the file, it'll read this bytes. Let's also do the content value. We need to come back to this later, but final. Nope, this should work. That's right, this should work. Content.value. Let me go into this real quick. Future file data. That's right. We probably need to change this from a value notifier to a stream. Problem is this is a future though. What we can do is we can have an init. That's right. We can do future init. Yeah, I like this. So basically what we're going to do is update the content value to be equal to the future readus bytes. Let's see, does that work? Yeah, that works. Wait. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and, is it imported? It should be. No. Let's go ahead and import that. Let's go back to our file. Let's see where we're at. Let's see. That looks good. So we can return this at the bottom. Okay. And it is so slow. Let's see. Okay, that should be imported. We don't need this anymore. Awesome. And we need to make this a future, right? Okay, that should be good. This should allow us to import an existing Flutter project now. Right, so let's go ahead and add this method to our model. Right, yeah, because once we have a project, we want to at any given time update a project. So this will be in our app model. This will have a list of strings, which are a list of projects. So here we want to do void. Let's do two different ones. Import existing EXIST project. Let's call out our import, which will be, we will always want to import this line, the one that has the relative import. We also need to call the open panel, which is open file, I believe. Yeah. This comes from Settings Manager, so we can actually go to menus.dart to get that. Right. File chooser, that's what it was. This is a package I made too. So here we have file access, file manager, open file, and then let's do file path is equal to await. Let's go ahead and make this async. List of files. So first we want to return early if the files are null. So if files equal to null, we want to return since there's nothing to do. Here we want to grab the first file, right? Yeah, because if they select a directory, it'll only be one file. So let's do directory is equal to files.first, since we're only going to allow them to do a directory. Let's do can directories. Which one is this? Allow select directories true. And then here we want to specify the path. Let's do path and then do directory.name. Awesome. This is going to return a base project. So base. Actually, we may actually move this to the menus file because this is only going to exist on what's it called? Desktop and mobile. And this one specifically only works on desktop. So let's do open project, open save panel. Here we go. Read a string project in it. Oh, interesting. Here, I'm going to add this logic here. I forgot I did it that way. We were checking to see if the project meta file existed. And then we initiate it. Otherwise, let's see. Yeah. File manager. Why is this? This isn't async. Oh, open panel. So we already have the open panel. We don't need that. If the meta file exists, meta file not found, no worries. We will, let's do this here. Does not exist. Let's do file meta. This is my metadata that gets generated on the file instance or inside your actual Flutter project, which you can check in the source code. So let's do file dot create recursive. And then now we want to write as bytes or write as string synchronous. We want to do JSON dot encode meta file to JSON. Another example why I'm using the freeze package. So this will guarantee that we have the meta file, right? And then we have the string class. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do this right here. Why is this giving me an error? Oh, one more. Yeah. And then else we want to import the meta project. So here we want to update our base. There we go. That's what I wanted. And then let's go ahead and give it our two things that we need. Path, which would be directory dot path. And what would be your name? It would be the last thing. So it would be, I wonder if this gives us the instance. Does it? No. So we need to do path dot split the last instance of it. So then we want to split again. And we want the first. So this will be, you know, test file path meta.json. We want to split all these, and then we want to, once we grab this, we want to split this again and grab the first. So we just want the name. Okay, looks good. So we have our init right here. Here we want to import. So this is on success. So here we want to import the base project. Import files. So we're going to do the name, which should be right here. Let's go ahead and also add that here so we have dry code and here. Perfect. Now if I'm correct, let's make sure this is working correctly. So we need to init it in the project model. So we need to have another callback, which is base project. Yes. So we want to do files. We can do if files is not equal to null, else do this. Perfect. And then now let's go back to our menus. And we can pass it in right here. Let's go ahead and make this optional just in case it errors out. So we're going to wrap this with a try catch. Because I mean, there are times that we want to continue, like if they import a corrupted project or whatever, they can still import the meta file, like if they're downloading it from the network. So here, I'm going to read in the project model, project base, and everything. So this should work now. Let's see. Okay, should be able to run it. Good to see everybody in the chat. Thanks for checking in. Definitely continue to, put your questions down there, and I'm continuing to look at it. Yeah, this has been an absolute pleasure to build. This is one of my, ever since I started with Flutter, I've been super excited about building a no-code editor to build Flutter applications. My eventual goal with this too is to build a template generator so you can, have all your boilerplate stuff done for you. It's not really meant to like replace VS Code or anything. It's in fact, it's meant to kind of work alongside of it, allowing you to quickly add screens or widgets or customize themes, for example. I'm building this for myself because I want to be able to use it, and just hopefully a lot of you guys will enjoy it too. So we're just starting. And I hope this is entertaining. I mean, I want to definitely start live streaming more, so let me know in the comments if you want to see more kind of stuff like this. As well as I'm working on more short form content videos and, all kind of different stuff. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Patreon and GitHub and anywhere. Should be everywhere as Rody Davis. So, yeah, I just enjoy, showing you guys what is possible with Flutter. So this should load here. So right now the app state isn't going to show the new projects, but it will show us the open panel and will allow us to know if it imports it successfully. There's some things you have to do on macOS which are kind of weird. I haven't tested this on Windows and Linux, but basically you only have access to the files that you're given permission to, so only the files that the user selects. So when they select the directory, then they have access to the directory. If you notice here at the top, we actually have menus. This is actually what we're just doing. Right here, menus.dart. This is actually updating the actual desktop menus for the application, which is super cool, allowing you to do all really cool stuff with it. Like preferences, for example, automatically opens it up, and you can do shortcuts. So let's go ahead and try our open command. Should open the dialog, which it did. Let's go ahead and open the project. Let's open the, how meta, let's open the project it's currently running on. Let's see, projects, Flutter Editor. Yeah, let's do the top one. Didn't crash. That's good. Do we get any errors? Debug console. Meta file not found. Didn't error out, which is good. So let's see what happened. You have reached this point. Create the base, file create string, rise string. Let's see, did it actually add that file? Yeah, it did. Look at that. There's our meta file. Cool. That's exactly what we want. So this is basically the file that gives you everything that you need when we're storing the application. That's awesome. Worked on the first try. So I'll go ahead and format this for you if you're curious. Format document. There we go. So you can see we have the path of the editor. We have the targets that we're supporting right now. We're only supporting web. We have Kotlin, Swift, and all this other kind of stuff. So we'll go into this in a second, but let's debug why this didn't work. So this would have reached here, the new base project. You would have knitted that base project. Oh, you know what? If files is not equal to null, which is, are we missing something? That should be right. Unless we're calling this in too many places. So let's do Flutter create. I wonder if I'm calling it there. No, because we definitely imported the path. Let's debug this. Okay, let's just try it again, first of all. I mean, could have been a bug, so let's try it again. Open, Command O. Click on the Flutter Editor. It's going to exist. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's not reading correctly. Let's catch this error, see if something's going on. Print. Actually, we need to get the logger. Oh, I'm not logging it there. Whoops. Let's do print error. All right, let's try that once it hard reloads. Let's go ahead and do that again. Command O. Click on the Flutter Editor. We select the directory. No error. Interesting. Are we returning early? Project not found. Nope. It's good. Let's see. Let's check this, because this may be where we're having issues. All right, we're doing our conditional import. Good. Let's see, we have a project directory. If project exists, which it does, let's go ahead and check that. Let's just, let's just step through this just to make sure we're getting everything correctly. Let's do project, or let's do, project path is equal to our path and our name. Hopefully I haven't lost any of you guys. Let me know if this is confusing or if I need to walk over something. But let's try that again. Command O. The basic concept of what we're doing, if you're just joining, is we're working on the open dialog for the editor so you can import existing Flutter projects. So let's import itself. Here we go. Awesome. Operation not permitted. This is what I was talking about. So I got around this before by What did I do? Why does it say URL launcher? Oh, you know what? Okay, let's try something else. Let's do a new project. Oh, thanks. Just separate projects. Yeah, I am getting a slight delay when I'm seeing your comments, but so my recommendation is, yeah, this is the biggest issue that we're having. So on this version of the editor, um, if you see, we have a core library. Both we have a desktop, mobile, and web target that actually import the core SDK, and then basically we have UI wrappers where the web version can access HTML wherever it wants, and the desktop version and mobile version can access the IO stuff. I don't know though, because like right now, like I've had good luck too having everything under one project. So this is an example of, as long as you do conditional imports, which is what we're doing here, it allows you to, kind of create your project in such a way that has native functionality when it needs it, and then otherwise it doesn't. But yeah, thanks for the support. Yeah, I'll definitely keep talking about that more too as well. But and it's also interesting because you can actually do some cool stuff by compiling your native plugins for the web. There is, I've been starting to experiment with using Rust and using WebAssembly. So I built this wrapper. If you guys are curious, I'll put it in the description. But basically, the whole concept is it allows you to write native code in C++ or Rust, and then have it, compile to WebAssembly, and then you use that everywhere, so you can compile it to native. So let's go ahead and open that up. So that it'd be, I believe, FFI experiments. Rusty. I believe it's this one. No, it does not exist. So let me pull it up for you guys on GitHub. All right. So if you go to my public page, I guess you'll see a lot of my private repos, but I'm going to do FFI. Yeah, right here. So this, oh yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, conditional imports are really cool. This package right here, or this example that I made, this is an example of how to do Rust and, actually, sorry, yeah, how to do Rust and Flutter. This other repo that I have is a list of all my different experiments with Flutter, Flutter, Rust, and WASM. So specifically, this one may be of interest to you. It allows you to, for example, let's go into the home folder. And so here we can actually copy the dynamic lib that's generated. We can load the WebAssembly based on whatever platform we're running on. And then literally inside the home screen file, this is actually running WASM. I also have it running on the web too. Yeah, so here if you look at this branch, I actually have it running on web as well. So this is a cool project. Definitely check it out. Flutter FFI WebAssembly. But thank you so much for your support. Definitely feel free to keep chatting in the comments. I'll definitely keep looking at it. So yeah, let's see where we were. So we have our files, and let's look at here. So we're importing our base project. We want to make sure that we're listing recursively, but we know that we're getting a file system error. And let's do the same thing as before, but let's import an existing project that is not the one that we're working on. So let's just see what we got. So let's do This is a new app that I'm working on. So do we get the same error? Yes, we do. All right, so let's open up the Mac OS folder. It should have the correct permissions, but it's possible that I didn't. It's very possible. Here we go. Let's open up the runner. Thank you. Okay, so is it loading? Yes. Okay. All right. So this is what this is all premised around, is having the permission access. And we got this to work before. So let's look at the other editor, because it did work on this one. So let's open up the Mac OS. And this is actually, if anybody's curious, this is actually V3 of me building this project. So, all right, so this is the one that did work. What did we have? Oh, you know what? We updated the info P list. That's right. And what do we have to add? Yeah, that's right. We definitely had to import something. So make sure this is the right one. Yeah, editor desktop, signing capabilities, read and write, perfect. Let's see. Let's go ahead and open this one up. macOS runner. Okay. It's such a weird issue because basically you don't have permission to see it. Let's make sure we're importing the right file first of all. List directories on the project directory of this directory path. Is this the correct path? Fluid calendar. Yeah, that's totally the right path. Let's see. Let's see if there's an issue open right now. Just search the old Stack Overflow. I remember seeing this issue before. This is a general Mac OS one. And totally misspelled Mac OS. No, no. If you guys know the answer, please feel free to comment down below, but I've never seen this before. Let's see, file access. Oh, that's right, Mojave. I think we have to give it full disk permissions. Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. That's why it worked. Okay, so let's go ahead and check. Yeah, all right. We need to do full disk access. This is kind of a hacky way, but it works, whatever. All right, so I'm gonna do a fingerprint. Let's give Xcode later. I think we can select our application. Flutter Editor, yeah. Oh, interesting. I wonder if Xcode has the issue. Yeah, I wonder if that's it. So we're going to quit that. All right, let's see. Let's just double check if we didn't miss anything. Because this definitely worked before. Oh, you know what? It's trying to import the symlink. Ephemeral. Oh, you know what? Let's ignore hidden files. Yeah, let's ignore hidden files. Just to like, you know, make sure that we're not crazy. Let's do open project, read project. Oh, you know what? Symlinks needs to be off. That's right. Directory, exist sync. Here we go. So I don't, if you guys are not aware, but on desktop you can have this thing called like symlinks, which are files that point to other files, similar to aliases. So we don't want symlinks. Follow links to false. Yeah. Let's do that. If this works, first try. Hey, hey. Got a different error this time. File. Oh, we can, obviously it's already a file, so we can do that. File directory, directory listing failed at float counter mass symlink. So let's do, if it's prefixed with a dot, we want to ignore it. So if a file is file, if file is directory, there we go. We want to ignore private directories. If file list sync, if file is directory, if file dot path dot split, we want to get the name of it. Let's see, so if we're down here, this would be right here. Dot last, there we go. Prefix starts with period. There we go. We want to skip. No, we want to do this. If the file does not start with a period, we want to not list it, basically. Okay, let's try that. Did it work? Operation not permitted, where are we? Ephemeral. We want to not do symlinks. Let's see, we can also do another. If file dot path contains, we just want to continue. I know this is dirty, but we'll come back and fix this later. Because we may want to do other stuff too. So private directory, and symlinks. Cool. This should completely ignore that, because we don't want to just import everything. We can also add build folder. That'd probably be another one we want to add. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Adding a crap ton. Oh, we don't need to use node modules. Oh shoot. Okay, let's go ahead and add our blacklist. My goodness. All right, else I don't want to import all of Node. Let's do Node modules. Else if wow. Build. We don't want to do build folder either. My goodness. All right, let's do that one more time. Should be much faster. Yes, yes. Get the framework. Grab the ephemeral. That's good. Skip the node modules. Interesting. Still doing it. Are we doing the right logic there? If the directory. Oh, you know what? We need to do that here. If the, right here, yeah. We just want to return early, basically. Or we can abstract this in a second, but just go ahead and get the basics out of the way. Let's go ahead and close this. Yeah, just want to return the children. Man, there's a lot of node files. Okay, let's get this. Come on, format. All right, goodness. Let's go ahead and cancel that. When in doubt, reload. That should kill our application. Okay, so just basically what I did here, if you're curious, if the file, which means it could be a directory or a file, contains symlinks, node modules, a build folder, or starts with a period, meaning it's a private folder, the editor doesn't really care about it because we won't be utilizing it, if that makes sense. Let's see, what other ones do we not want to do? We're just basically going to skip all these. I'm going to have an asset viewer. That's something else I want to add. Ooh, pods. That's another big one. Or pods. Okay. Let's see, what else do we not want? It'll skip that because it's a period. We would like that. That should be pretty much it. Dart tool. We'll skip that. Okay, let's try it again. The joys of debugging. But this stuff is fun though. Yeah, just to recap, if you're just joining, we're working on a Flutter editor built by Flutter to create Flutter. Definitely a meta, but what's cool about that is this project relies on a bunch of community plugins like Freezed and State Notifier and a bunch of other things. Thinking about I'm looking for ways to maybe have people help out with the project because I believe that the community can help make it better. But it's all about releasing when it's ready. And there's also just things that kind of come with working on a bigger project that you want to make sure that, I don't know, it's like, it's just so big and it's important that everybody can contribute in a way that doesn't step on other people. So I'm definitely looking into ways that we can, build this in a way that the community can really love. So definitely stay tuned for more information for that. Okay. While it's running, let's just look around. Let's look at the File Explorer. This is a cool one. So yeah, basically when the file is selected, we decode the bytes from the string data. And here, this is actually where our logic goes to. Like if it's a manifest.json, we open up the manifest editor. If it's a markdown file, we open up, that's a typo. If we have a markdown file, we open up the markdown editor. If it's a pubspec, we open up pubspec. Same for JSON, we just open up the general JSON editor, and then otherwise we open up this default code view. This default code view just has the general text syntax highlighting, so yeah, it's pretty cool. This one is built upon some different packages I found. Some I had to just basically build for my own needs, but I think it turned out pretty well. So here is the editor. Awesome. So just like before, we can select files and blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go ahead and open a file. We're going to try to open our folder just like we did before. We're looking down here at our print dialog just to make sure everything's looking okay. This time we don't want to import node modules, so let's make sure this is doing correctly. Good. Skip that. Skip that. Let's see. So it's going to read the file though. We need to make this faster for sure. I think the reason why this is slow is because it is. Why is it slow? We need to look into that because it was definitely way faster before. Here it is printing out the web one, so still going. Node modules, bazillion. Oh, there we go. And we need to fix the naming because this needs to be just the pass. Goodness. All right, let's go ahead and fix that. Sorry about that. Let's see. This would be inside here. We want to just grab the name of the file. Wow. Simple, but important. Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab this code because we will need that. And my goodness, it's printing out all that. Goodness. Let's see if we can kill that call stack. Nope. So this was inside of our import function. Inside of plugins, mobile files. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this down here. I'm going to make it a debug print because we don't want to bombard this with performance. Let's also, we need the name, first of all. Foundation, project file, project path, yes, project path, project file, okay. Is this correct? Yes, it is correct. But what do we need to do? We need to create a getter right here. String get name. Here, that's what we need. It is going to be path. Dot split. Yeah, that's what we want. Yes. And then we'll update our file explorer. File name, which would be file name. And let's see, where else are we needing this? We need this in the tree view. Yep. So, if you guys are curious, I also like to keep a common folder. This has all of my default widgets that don't depend on each other. They're kind of like self-contained. So let's go to the tree view widget. Here we have our tree view. Here, this is exactly what we don't need. We need name. And we also need name for the file type. Unselect base text, build file, text.name, yes. Let's make sure the directory one is looking correct. Base.name, that's where it was. Okay, let's go into that. Let's go ahead and copy this. This will also exist on, no, this will do for both. So we can do this as base. Both will take advantage of it because it's a getter and it's abstract. Awesome. Okay. Folders are correct. Still did ephemeral. My goodness. Looks correct. Hey, look at that. We got a project. Still added those, which it should not have. Let's see. Okay. Huh. It's important that we make sure that this is exactly how we look. Since pods is uppercase, that's there. We don't care about Flutter there. Oh, we have a duplicate. We have multiple duplicates. Interesting. Oh, I came across this bug. And I fixed it by recursive false. Yeah, that's what it was. So, yeah, because then we listed the contents. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's just open up another project. So, GitHub. Let's do examples. Let's do this one I was doing. CSS grid. Okay, perfect. Look at that. This was not a Flutter project, so let's go ahead and open up another Flutter project. Oh, Flutter login, yeah. One of my very early examples. And would you look at that? It adds all this for us. So this will be a cool one to do while we're all here. Let's check if it's an image type and then show the image on the right. So this will also be for when if I open source this, this will be how you guys can contribute. So let's do, we need an image editor. So, because in theory, we want to be able to change the image, but right now it'll just be a viewer. So we're going to have ports, material. It's a bug for me right now, but whatever. Let's just go ahead and do image editor. Okay, let's do a center. Image dot memory. And we're going to create a byte array because we already have the bytes. Come on. Oh, we need to use my image class, which will be, shoot. I'm going to pull that up for you guys. If you're not aware, I made this package called Image Resizer, which does a lot of cool things under the hood. One of which is allowing you to change icons, which we have to add to this anyway. So, so if you look at the example, I don't know if many people are aware of this, but the example on DartPub will actually allow you to generate app icons for you. So once it loads, see, it generates all this, and you can add your own. But we don't need that right now. We need to, what do we need to do? We need to grab the source of this. So go to GitHub. I'm using this technique. I need to decode the byte data. I just want to see what I'm doing, because I'm basically resizing it. Oh wait, that's in the lib, of course. Go in here. We're going to have generator, I believe. Yeah, so the generator will implementation image. We need to import this lib. And then what do we need to do? We need to decode the image data. Create. Let's go ahead and look at this package too. What was it? It was decode image. That's what it was. We're going to have a naming conflict, so we need to do that. Image dot, what do we got? Decode image. List of data. So this will be right here. Yes, I am always interested in collabs. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create this right here and make this required. Awesome. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So that should be everything. But what do we need? Decode image, and then we need to what? Data? No. As bytes. Yes, that's what it was. Image.network. We're going to have our image editor. You can also give it the name of the image. This will be useful. And where do we want to do this? So this will be on the default editor. I just recently allowed image type, so we will do this here. Turn. In my file access package, this is actually where I choose the different accessible types. Let's go to desktop. Okay. Here we want to check to see if it's a correct type. Let's see if I added this here. I did not. Do we add it here? No. Do we add it to the example? I know I added it in this project. Constants? Yes. Haha. So if this is interest to anybody, this allows us to have all the supported image types. So let's go ahead and grab that, which we need. Let's create a new one called file types. Shoot. There we go. There's a folder. Let's do file. I would say the file structure that I follow in most of my Flutter applications is similar to the MVP pattern, where basically I have the models and the UI separated. That's the most important thing. Folder structure is absolutely critical. And then also, when I'm building these applications, it's very important that I make sure that things are predictable, and then I can also make sure that everything's working correctly. So let's do if this dot contains. Let's go ahead and import that. Contains in dot, is it the name? What is in? In a string. Dot, let's do split last. Okay. Let's give it a name, which would be in. The data. Oh, we may need to do this elsewhere. So let's grab this. Let's look at our editor. So File Explorer. Yeah, we need to do this before we send it to the code editor because we encode it into string. Build file. Yep, right here. So we need to check the file name. So if file name or this code. Come on. If file dot name, yeah, that's what we need. Import extensions, file dot name, and we have our bytes too, which is data. So bytes is data. Awesome. So this should allow us, when we tap on an image, to see, oh wait, we need the path. Path dot splits dot last. Yeah, the last extension. I know there's a factory method for this, but just doing it this way to get it started. Come on, screenshot. If data is equal to null. Yeah, we need to do this too. Okay, we need to wrap this with a, we need to call the method, shoot. When we select the file, we'll call it. Select file needs to call this method, which is asynchronous. And it's going to call await.init. Perfect. Project file base, and we do if value is project file, then we can edit it. Yeah. Okay. Let's try that again. Shoot. Let's see what's going on there. I'm going to try a different approach for this. Let's take this, comment this out, and let's do our byte array. U18 list from, let's do bytes. I thought this was supposed to be able to handle this. I've done this before with images, but we'll see. Bad UTF-8 encoding at character offset. You know what? I wonder if we're accidentally transforming the data. You know what? I bet we are. Let's check on that. Okay. And thanks to everybody that's still watching. I see you guys in the comments, so feel free to keep pumping them. All right, we have our project. Here we go, project file, and its content of value is to read as bytes. Let's make sure that we're not encoding this right here. File read as bytes, that's correct. That's interesting. That works. Let's just print the data. You know, when in doubt, let's do return. Then we can see if it's UTF-8 encoded, or UTF-8 encoded. All right, let's see. Come on. Oh, to string. Interesting. It's trying to read the, oh, you know what? It's not reading this value correctly. So let's go here and just return this since we know it's an image. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Now let's go back to the image editor. Uncomment this. Uncomment this. Interesting. Let's make it fill. Maybe that's not having a size. Let's try a decoder again. Try going null. Yeah, that's right, because this. Oh, whatever. Yeah, for those that are joining, this I'm open sourcing my video creation of the Flutter editor I built. I'll show you that here real quick. So the code editor, which is built in Flutter, allows us to add all sorts of stuff like themes, and this is basically a template generator for Flutter. We can add custom colors, gradients, as well as radial gradients. Gives us access. This runs on desktop, web, mobile, everywhere. We also have the ability to import existing projects. Oh, look at that. It works. So look at that. Why is that working now? What do we do? Just restarted? Can't be that simple. It's kind of cool, actually. It works pretty well. So let's go ahead and let's make sure this is correct. So let's print this name. Because I'm pretty sure I got this part wrong. PNG. Okay, we need to make this to lowercase then. So this will still work. Let's see. Let's make sure this works correctly. This will be our isImage boolean. IsImage true. Okay. Now this should work. And we can return this. Okay, that's working. Let's click on a file. Oh shoot, that needs to be way less. So let's do File Explorer. Just gonna fix this bug real quick. File tree view. Here is my padding. Right. Padding. Yeah, so we do depth is equal to this. This needs to be way less, so we need to do like 2, for example, which should change these. Why is that so massive? There's empty directories, maybe? Okay, that's, maybe let's remove this. Yeah, I mean, it's better. Screenshots. It's just kind of weird. I can just give it a little bit of padding on the left. Oh, you know why? Because it doubles it up. Move this widget. Can we do this up here? At the first layer presentation. Yes. But we don't want to. It's fine. Whatever. We'll come back to that. We can just make it the default level 1. The level +1. Yeah, that works. Cool. So there's our tree view. Works great for large files. So let's see, our iOS folder. Oh, we want to turn off expanded to default to false. That was my bad. Thankfully, I abstracted that already. Okay, so we can go into our libs. All right, so we can go to our assets, make sure our images are loading. Yes, look at that. All of our images are working. That is really, except for that one. Don't worry about that. That one's working, that's working. What is that one? That is a video. Okay, we need to make sure that videos are hidden. Screen recording, UTF-8. So, okay, that's what we need. Video editor is not supported. Dart. This be the same exact thing as the image editor. Oh, we can clean up our imports. Does anybody still have questions about what's going on? I can walk back through it again, but just let me know in the comments. All right, we're going to do video editor, and we're just going to turn a placeholder. We will override this widget later because on mobile we want to show the video player. On web we want to show the iframe, but I don't think there's a solution on macOS yet. So we'll come back to this. Let's go back to our file explorer. We're going to do the exact same thing except for K video extensions, which we need to grab from here, which is cool. Okay, file types. Feel free to use my packages. I try to be pretty open about all these things that I'm creating. So, okay, video extensions is going to be video editor. Awesome. So that should work once it. Oh, we got to import it. Cool. Awesome. There we go. So let's give it a video type of not supported. Let's give it some error. We're going to give it a center, child, text, video not supported. Awesome. Image. Cool. This actually works pretty well. So we can see our own meta file, which should be .json. Oh, you know what? It's not going to open up the correct file paths. Why? Because we removed the name, so now we need to go into the editor, File Explorer. Yeah, that's it. File path. No. Let's give this a new property, actually. Yeah, because we want, since now we have the extension, we can just provide it and we can modify this. So let's grab the extension here. Extension. Cool. Default code editor. In is actually equal to ext. Oh, no. It's going to be join plus import. Come on, work for me. Path.dart. Let's do asp. We want to join these. And what do we want? We want period. Oh no, this is so much simpler than I thought. Excuse my mess. Here, and ext. All right. Let's make sure our editor's working. Perfect. Why is this throwing an error? What in the world? That's a lot of errors. No such. Oh, UTF coding. It's fine. Oh, that's because it's an image, but it should be. I had this before, so we'll come back to that. All right. Okay, that's cool. Ooh, let's do. This could be interesting. We need to include the file extension here. Okay, let's go back into our classes. Our template gen, project file. Okay, so this would be, let's get file name, which would be basically this without the split. File name would be this, and extension would be file name dot last. Perfect. So now we can go back to our tree view. Here we want file name instead of directory name. And we also want the same for here. Come on. There we go. So now we have all of our extensions. Perfect. looking good. Imports all the files. Internal hash sleep. Let's make sure JSON is working. So let's go, this will be inside Code Editor. All right. Let's do the bottom one. Let's do JSON decode string. It's this hack that I have to do every now and then, but let's do JSON encode value from an object, and then JSON.decode. This shouldn't work, but it does. At least sometimes. Oh, internalized hash link is not a type string. Okay, cool. So that means that it was working correctly. Let's grab that. Grab that. What line is that? That is image. What the? Okay. It's not the error we're looking for. File export. Code editor. JSON. Dynamic string. Interesting. Do we need this? Can that be it? Huh. Oh, you know what? It's because we were already doing that before. Okay. Sorry for that delay. Let's make sure this is working correctly, because we want to, check the alignment. Cool. So this should reload and appear up here. Or should have. Start. Column. No, it should be fine. And then code editor, we need to also grab something from over here. We need to make this a white background because of some issues. So we can do containers white. Let's go ahead and remove that. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Wrap with a widget container. There it goes. Why is it one behind? What? That is not okay. Let's do why is that default code editor? Yeah, that is not cool. Oh, we wrapped it with a column. That's what it was. Okay. Let's change our data out to here. Okay, that should fix that. Perfect. This is just because this package, which I need to update, does not support, basically doesn't support, dark mode, first of all. So the cool thing is we have already imported existing files, which is awesome. Let's see, let's go to this code editor real quick. Syntax, code view, that's what I was looking for. If widget.extension, are we giving this? No. Oh shoot, we need to add this because we have it now. Cool. Oh, that would explain why it's all syntax highlighting in Dart. So let's see, let's go here. This should now be extension. Yeah, totally. Okay. Okay. Let's put this here. Looking good. Quoted. Okay. Do that right? Come on. Do we have HTML? Let's see. No. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. But it does support JavaScript, which is cool. So let's see what other files that we have in here. Swift, we should be able to open up an Android file. Yeah, look at that. It's in Kotlin. That's cool. Cool. A generated file. That's interesting. That's not supporting Dart. Is that because extension would be code editor? Which would be File Explorer. And inside here, yeah, we provide the extension, which would be File. Yeah, here we go. Extension to lowercase. Does that make a difference? I sure hope so. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Split.last. Yeah, it's always going to be Dart. Well, we'll come back to this one. We don't have to do this right now. So, Spec editor still working. Yep. Our JSON editor is working. This is our output format that we're doing. Real quick, let's write out the template file. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and check this in. Real quick. Now, what we need to do is write to the file. So let's first of all let's write out the template file first. Okay. So we have our theme screen. Let's go ahead and open up if you're curious. This is the screen. Let's add a button it's a refresh button. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And this is gonna call icons.save. That makes sense. You can always update this later, but we'll do this for now. And we're gonna do, does this go in the model? No, this goes in the project. Fix. Nope. We're gonna have void, let's call update theme file. Awesome. So now we're going to do the same thing as before, but we're just going to grab the model, which is this one. We're going to have update theme file. Cool. And what is that going to do? What we're going to do is update that JSON file first of all. Cool. This is going to conditionally import to, because on the web this does not exist. So here we can have a path and a future. Yeah, that'll work. So we're going to have a future and update locale file. We're going to have a path and our list of bytes. Int bytes. I'm doing the wrong language here. Oh yeah, of course. I'm going to have the same one in mobile. And here, what we're going to do, we're going to create the file, first of all, which we need to be, this important that this needs to be the full file, not just the relative path. So we're going to do await dot file create cursive true, and then we're going to write to that file. Bytes, perfect, and that's good to go. And then let's just do this for sanity. Come on. We're going to return false and return true here. And here we can just print out our errors if could not update file. Come on, analyzer. There we go. There we go. Okay. We know the constant because we're doing a theme file. So this will be quite simply k theme file would be UI, which will be customizable too. UI theme .dart, and it would be also lib because we'll have the base project. Perfect. We're gonna have our project. We're gonna have update local file, up, local file, up, data. Come on. Conditional import, we're going to have our file path and our data. So what is our file path? It's going to be, we need to grab our current project. So this would be, we need to grab our join, since we're going to be creating a file, obviously. Let's do package path.dart. We're going to do as p. We're going to do p.join. Let's see, we're going to do state.path so we can get this, the file itself. And then we're going to do this, the theme file, which will join it. And then we also need the byte data. So this will be a list of bytes. So theme bytes, we need to encode the string. So first of all, we need to create the theme file. I did this once before over on my other project. So let's see, I might have already brought it over. Let's do project constants. I should have it here. My theme. Project files. You know what? I think I was not a widget. Where was it? It was, let's look it up. Let's do create block, project manager. Here we want to, we read our project and we update the theme, but we did this where? Project meta? No. Classes, Google Fonts. I had this in here somewhere. Editor. Expanded left. Theme settings. Interesting. Oh, it's in the old lib, that's why. Source, classes, meta? Is this it? No. Home, editor, screen, theme, custom colors, right? Because this is the file I generated. Let's do that. Let's look up that. Should be somewhere in the project. Constants, haha. Build custom colors. Build theme data. So we should have this over here. Okay. Let's see, build. Oh, we don't. So let's go ahead and grab that. We want build custom colors for sure. We want theme data, and we don't need tabs yet. We'll come back to that. Yes, we can import these. This needs to be different since we're using the new class. which will be theme. Aha. Custom color, custom gradient. Cool. We'll come back to the gradients. Here we go. Theme. Custom color. Why do we have custom colors? Colors dot, oh yeah. Color dot value? No, because it's already a color. And then, oh, we need font family. We will come back to that. Yeah. Let's make a note of that. Build light theme. We don't need this. We just need that. Yep. And then scaffold. Background color. It's pretty good. Floating action button. We can actually duplicate this now. Background, foreground, foreground. Awesome. And we're not doing app bar color, so forget that. Let's do these three. Which would be these three, yeah. We don't need these. We don't need font family for now, because we're gonna have our own custom font picker. Floating action button background color. And then we can also get the foreground. This will make sense in a second. Sorry if I'm losing anyone. Foreground color. There we go. Let's go ahead and copy that on over. And perfect. We have everything. And we have our custom colors. We also kind of want to generate the theme mode too. So let's do theme mode, get theme mode. Let's do options. Mode, right? Theme mode. Oh, you know what? That is going to be shoot. Just realized something. This is not what we need. We needed, still fixable, obviously, but we have a project theme. You know what? We needed our base project, which does include the mode, so yeah, that's what it was. Okay. It's fine. Okay, here we go. We do project.theme mode. And let's do toString. Theme mode dot, yeah, should make that all out. And here we want to add our custom colors for each one. Options dot light theme. No, project. Shoot. All right, project dot light theme, custom colors. We will optionally return this as null. So here we go. Colors. Perfect. And we're going to make these statics too, just in case they're not. Get SB to string. That's interesting. Oh, no, that's fine. Static. Cool, that'll work. That's all we need. Sweet. And then just go ahead and continue this out. Should we use a string builder? Yes or no? I would say for this, not yet. We'll come back to that. We'll just provide fallback values for now. Light theme. And let's also do this, but the opposite. Dark theme. I'm gonna do this for dark theme too. Ooh, that is not good. We're missing a comma somewhere. Yep, colors are not equal to null. Awesome. This will take our theme file, generate the file to write out, and then, cool. That is what we need. So, let's go back into our model. Our project model. And let's do file theme data is equal to this. It should be a synchronous operation. Let's import this from our constants. And what do we need? We need our state. Not date. Data. We're going to do this UTF-8 dot encode because we want to encode the string to bytes, and yeah, we're good. So now let's see, what project do we have open? Let's open up the Flutter Editor just so you guys can see. Oh, and we'll also need to refresh the files, but whatever, we'll come back to that. So let's do file.open. Let's open up our editor. Cool. C++. Oh, Linux. Okay. Okay, so now if we go to theme, let's go ahead and add all these values just because we don't want null. So whatever, just make this white or blue, whatever. Foreground. I know these has to be probably one of the ugliest apps ever, but hey. Let's also make sure that we return early. Yes, we do. Okay. All right, moment of truth. We should see a file appear right about here. And would you look at that? Theme.dart. And it's empty. All right, why is it empty? Well, we created it. Let's try it again. That's so funny. Let's do... let's print this. Yeah, it's totally doing that. Let's do... Oh, you know what? Update local file. Plugins, files. No, that's fine. It's not hot reloading. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We need to remove the app bar color. So let's go into our theme file. Remove that. Oh wait, no, we can keep the light. Let's just remove this. And let's remove this. Theme data light. Oh, shoot. Are you serious? Well, we live and then we learn. So, the nice part about this is it updates in real time, which is cool. Let's reorder those buttons too while we're at it. I don't like that it's on that side. Okay. Update. Oh, look at that. So the cool thing is, like I was saying, it'll write out all the custom colors. So for example, if we have like color 1, color 2, when you write this out, it should write out those custom colors. That's supposed to be unique. Let's fix that. Add custom color. There we go. Name is our theme custom colors dot length. Yep. Manually hot reload. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Let's do some more. 1, 2. Push save. And would you look at that? Boom. And why is that all changed? Oh, well, that would be why. The custom colors shouldn't be like that, though. Hopefully this is interesting. It's definitely fun for me to kind of explore all this. All right, so we need to grab that spacing. We're going to add it here. Come on. Well, we can also stop printing this out since we don't need it anymore. Let's go to our theme file and Everything else is correct except for that one. That means it's because, yeah, because we have this right here. And let's do down here. Okay. Save, and we should. Yes, look at that. Good formatted, nice code. Nice part about this is, like, if we want to update any one of these values, it makes it so easy in this editor. So we can say, I want this color to be red, I want this to be green, and I want this to be some shade of blue. With this editor, it's super easy to then click save, and then boom, you now have updated values. Custom colors for here, for example. So it's just a nice way to, like, you know, if you have your theme. So this is pretty cool. So just to show you a real world use case, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and making the app use its own theme. So we can do, let's also add the visual density. So let's go ahead and comment that out. We're going to do import this file. Let's actually add this. I think that's cool. We need to add it on the base theme. So let's go to constants, theme data right here. And oh yeah, that's right, because we can set the brightness. We need to fix that. So we can do project, light theme, light brightness. Yeah. It's equal to true. And this will be the opposite. This will be equal to false. Dark theme. Adaptive platform. Cool, cool, cool. Now, sorry. Fixing that bug. Let's now take this. We do light theme. Data. And we can do dark theme. Data. And we should be able to grab the mode too, which is cool. Oh, we do. We need to, oops. We need to specify that in our constants. Our mode needs to have a fallback of that would be right here. Fallback needs to be theme mode dot system. Gotta import that. What's this material? That'll work. Let's do save. Ugh, gross. Theme mode.system. Why is that broken? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Simple fix, but oh, the tools. Dark. Brightness dot dark. There we go. So take that. We can now use our theme mode. Since we want to be able to adjust this later, I'm just going to comment this out. What? Theme mode. Theme mode.get. Interesting. Are we calling this somewhere? Oh, here we go. Mode. Aha. So here we can say I want a dark theme, hit save, and it should hot reload our application. Huh, there we go. Okay, let's fix all this craziness. So, we want to set this to null. Let's see if that works. It does not. Probably need to not remove these, so let's do it this way. Really this is what we're really trying to do. The primary color is equal to, if the primary color is equal to null, first of all, this is inside the brackets. If the primary color is equal to null, we want the light theme .value. Else, we want our project theme color.value. Or is it already int? I forget. Yeah, it's already int. Okay, definitely need to abstract this. So we're going to have a function which is basically int get color, int value, color fallback. If value, here we go, we can do return value fallback dot value. All right, here we can do get color and theme mode dot light dot primary color. Or theme data. Silly mistakes. And this needs to be wrapped in a color. Cool. So let's just do the same thing for accent color. Let's do the same thing for scaffold background color, right? Yeah. Okay, and that should be good. Oh, we need to do the floating action buttons. Shoot. Here. background color, and foreground color. Here's a floating action button theme dot background. Foreground. Awesome. So let's go ahead and copy this, bring it down to our primary and accent, change this to dark theme. Let's grab our two colors here, change this to dark theme. And let's also change this to dark. And removing these. And removing these, since we don't really care about them, to be honest. Let's hit save again. See what we get. Come on. Reload. There we go. Let's try that again. Save. And boom. Of course we missed one. All right. Let's go to constants. Grab this. It's all about trial and error, that's for sure. Awesome. Let's fix that error. That is so fun. And would you look at that? We have our custom colors. The nice part is we get all the ints, the data, and the theme mode. So let's make sure this is light one, dark one. Let's make that a dark background color, since there we go. That makes much more sense. That would, it's kind of nuts. All right, let's make this red just to make a weird looking one. All right, let's check for null values. So let's go ahead and close these out. Hit save. Cool, it updates the correct ones. That's weird. Why did it say the value was called null? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, we can do colors dot blue. I don't know, just to make sure. What? Material color is not a substantive int. Value. I wish it linted that. That would actually be really handy. Let's see. Save again. Okay. Looks fine. Okay. That looks good. Let's make this a dark gray. Okay, that looks better. Save. Hey, would you look at that? It actually updates the theme itself. So, just to reiterate what we just did, this theme file will actually update the theme project if it's supported on mobile or in desktop, for example. So let's go ahead and add the logic real quick to prevent web, just so we're not crazy. Project model. Oh no, it would be fine. So since it's a platform not supported, we'll just not throw an error. Okay. So thanks everybody for watching. I think that's gonna be it for me tonight. But I'm gonna start streaming regularly. I feel like it may be helpful for you guys. Please let me know. Reach out to me on Twitter, GitHub. If you like what I'm doing, please feel free to support me on Patreon too. Every little bit helps. And just wanted to thank everybody for watching so far. It's been an awesome day. We were able to get so many things done. Just let's go through the app again. We got importing projects. So if you do Command O, we can actually import any existing projects. So let's import the piano I built. So here we have a theme file, and it imports the files inside. Perfect. And then, we also what we just did too is you can click save and it updates a theme file inside wherever you're at, which is this one right here. And another thing we did is making sure that when you open a project, we update this file, which is the editor.json. So let's go ahead and just do one more thing, which is updating the meta file, because when we save, not only do we want to save it locally, we want to save it inside of the project. So we'll just do this before we sign off. This will be inside the save method. I've already abstracted it out, so okay, meta. What is it? Okay, meta file. Let's look that up. Meta file name. That would be it. And then we want to do JSON encode state to JSON. So just to prove this works, we're going to, this is on, I think it's every time we edit it. Yes, okay. So, for example, if we go here and we open up the project we're currently opening, we open the project we're currently editing, to be precise. Let's, okay, here we go, we can see our own. This is so weird. All right, let's update the theme file locally. Cool. Cool. Yuck. Let's go ahead and clear that one. Yeah, that'll work. All right. In theory, it should save automatically. So let's go ahead and check that. Editor JSON. Huh. It did. See, there's our theme file. So now, let's add a couple gradients and colors. Gradients, radial linear, radial. It should be updating live, which is super cool. Look at that. There is our gradients. So that's all the meta we need, really. So, and it's just for kicks and giggles. Let's update our theme mode. Light. And there it is. Let's do the same thing with dark. Cool. And let's just do one more thing too. As we're editing, we also want to update the theme too. Where are we going to do that? We need to do this on changed here, here. Here we go. Context.edit, obviously. But we want to do context.update theme file. That is what I'm looking for. Update here. Here. There. And everywhere. And of course we always have the save button to override, but this will be good. This will be good. Yeah, so in theory, let's open up the theme file. Let's look at our theme mode. If we change it to system, it should update automatically, and it does. Cool. That's great. Which means that we can also just change this icon to make something that more sense, like refresh maybe. Ooh, I also really like how it's not centered. That is pretty cool. Let's do this to false. Settings, screen, home, and file explorer. Oh no. We did the wrong one. Let's do dark. Okay. But as you guys know, in this package, for example, we have the ability to change the theme mode dynamically. So I'm just going to go ahead and comment that out since, it's up to the user. But I like that. It's really cool. Let's give it a more of a bluish tint. Ooh. No. I don't know. Let's give a leading for that too. Let's see. Theme. Yeah, here we go. Seriously, come on. Now we want to make it on change null. Perfect. Please work. First try. That'd be awesome.
remove. I thought that was the correct one. The trash can. Remove. Which one is it? Remove. Is it trash? Close. No, we are using the trash icon right there. This would be get color, delete. Too late. That's why we know it's about the time to cut quits. Okay, let's remove the dark theme. Oh, let's see, how do we do this in a way that's fine? If the dark theme, oh, I got a cool way. So we can do, first of all, we need a couple string builders. So we can have if project light theme is not equal to null, okay, we want to return this. Okay, otherwise, no, this can go in the beginning. Okay, come on. Right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. Else, we just want to return and I do know there's a better way to refactor this, but hey, we'll do that at a different time. Look at that. Clean solution. That will work. Okay. Okay, this is a project theme. Might as well do this now. Just since we're already here. String, right, project. We also need a name. else we want to return this. Cool. And we have this. Let's go ahead and this can be our theme. This needs to be our name. And we have this boolean. Bool is dark. If it is true, there we go. Okay. Cool. All right, now we just can move all this. So we can do project.light theme, light theme, true. Oh, should have done that a long time ago. Now we can support multiple themes too, which is nice, like custom ones. And this needs to be false. Now we need to return our string. What are we missing? What are we missing? Is dark, is light. Okay, awesome. Okay, make this a to-do actually. Let's do return dark. This will update the file. It should return theme data.dark. Yes, it does not. So that is simple bug. Is light. Here we can do this right here. LRGHT. Otherwise, we want to do dark. Okay, cool. And yeah, we're almost finished. So now we just want to test it. Sweet. So this should work. Okay, that works. Let's add it again. Adding a dark theme. Reloading based on the change. Sorry for blinding you. This will give us the dark theme data, which we have. Let's remove this. It should remove that, but give us the fallback. And we need to fix that, which is fine. It's actually really cool. This will be useful for the other stuff that we're going to be doing later on. Theme class, right line, right here. Okay. And what are we missing? We're missing a... No, that's good. This will be good. So now we add our class. There it is. And then let's remove our class. Boom. Let's remove our light theme. See how we have the fallback? Let's add both themes again. See what's cool is this all updates in real time. So let's add colors. 1, 2, 3. See these update, which is nice. So I can say my super color, my awesome. Look at that. And see, you can have access to these anywhere in the app, which is cool. Okay, cool. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Just like to thank everyone again for watching. I know it may be interesting to some of you, but if it is, please let me know because I love making videos like this. Please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, GitHub. You can also follow me on Patreon. The support really helps. And also just, I love to discuss things on Twitter, so make sure to reach out. I'm pretty approachable. Thank you so much for all the people that commented in the chat. I feel like we had an awesome discussion, and hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be starting to stream more often and making some more short videos. So, yeah, I feel like we got a lot done today, and we have an awesome theme file that creates our themes. We can also, just as, as we're doing this, we can, let's do Octolock. You can import existing projects. It will update the editor JSON if it doesn't exist, and it will also add a theme file if it's not created. All right, so that will do it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.